I've had a bit of a weird Monday. I was working on this. I went to Bunnings. I went to the big weird hardware place, and I bought the second cheapest heat gun, and I bought an Ozito heat gun because it was there, and I wanted to get into burning wood, charring it so it looks fucking unreal. I don't know how unreal it looks though, but we'll get to that. The thing is, I bought an Ozito. Ozito. I guess that's a Japanese word. Ozito. 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 Anyway, I bought an Ozito mulcher a few years ago from Bunnings because we live in Australia, which is all about monopolies. There used to be lots of different hardware places. You would go to a small hardware store that was run by some people, not a corporation or a big business. Anyway, that's how things used to be. But you tell people that things used to be a way, and they reply by saying, "We're going thrifting." And you're like, "You mean you're going to go to the op shop?" "Yeah, we're going thrifting. Last weekend we had a yard sale." "Oh, you mean a garage sale?" I don't, you know, people think, like some people, okay, very occasionally I'll get a response from a person like, "Sean, you sound like an angry old man." Hello, I was an angry young man. I was an angry boy. I didn't like that people picked up shithouse American words for things like thrifting and yard sale because I could read. Well, not because I could read, because I did read. I read a lot to hide from the stupid people. I read a lot to hide from the angry people, the terrifying people. That's right, yes, my parents. Okay, my dad, okay, right? I read to hide from what was going on around me. So because I read a lot, I picked up a few things and I realised I was surrounded by fucking idiots. Well, I became a know-it-all is what I'm saying. I became a know-it-all. I used to get punched by the other kids because I was a know-it-all. At school, I was a smart ass. I was short-tempered. I didn't suffer fools gladly. I was a dweeb. I was an annoying nerd. Anyway, this is all just my way of saying that now I'm a wise, middle-aged man who understands what life is all about. And so when I was at Bunnings and I saw that the only suitable heat gun they had for my wood project was an Ozito brand gun, and Ozito was the brand of mulcher that I bought a few years ago, and the fucking thing wouldn't mulch shit. And for some reason, this was just actually, I know what the reason was, because I hadn't had a diagnosis of autism yet. I didn't have the courage to take the mulcher back to Bunnings and say, "Hey, this is not going to work for me. What can we do about this? Another mulcher perhaps, or my money back, or maybe a coupon to the value of the money I've spent on this mulcher." A mulcher is an object that twigs like these, branches like this, you would feed these into a mulcher and it would turn them into wood chips. But this mulcher, it just got, things got stuck in it. It didn't work. Anyway, because I hadn't had, I was going to say, a biopsy of autism yet, I would get stumped by these situations. Once I knew that I was autistic, that helped. Because of that, I would go, oh, this situation, this social or interpersonal or business or whatever situation feels like it's beyond me, but it's not. I can make it work. I just have to understand that I'm autistic, which means that I go into the Bunnings store like an innocent baby boy, not like a big swaggering man. Oh no, not one of these fluoro men with their glasses atop their cranium, with their backwards baseball cap. Oh no. No, like an innocent child, I entered the Bunnings. I say, excuse me, sir, help. So I bought what I'm saying is things don't bother me now the way they used to. I didn't get so stumped. However, and this is important, the other day my wife Jo reminded me that I'm a level 2 autist, and I said, oh, okay, what does that mean? And she said, well, that means that you're not at the highest level of autism, but you do need care. Because there's the things you can't fucking do, which, not quite a disability, but maybe this kind of thing is why the husband and wife relationship was invented by humans. Maybe that's the point of it, to help people who by themselves would run into heavy going a lot, I like this shot here, right, because it looks like the heat gun is perilously close to my foot. It's actually not. I'm using a telephoto lens, a long lens, and it compresses the planes of reality into a single shining orb of cinema. It is a shining orb of cinema. I shot this in 4K. Normally I shoot in 1080p. Anyway, who cares about that? So I've taken a risk. I've bought this shit brand because they make objects that don't fucking work. I spent $50 on this heat gun because I couldn't wait or think ahead far enough to a time, maybe a day into the future, where I could get a heat gun from a reputable brand. And I think that is probably autism at work, because I get overwhelmed by situations and I'm like, no, I have to buy this one now. I have to buy this one now. I have to buy I mean, I don't, hey, come on. That's my internal dialogue or feeling. Which brings me to why I've brought you here today. So I'm working on this project, and I'm at this point now where as you can see, I'm scorching the wood black. I'm scorching it black. It's taking some time, which is fine. It doesn't have to take 10 minutes. If it takes hours, that's all part of the fun of the fair. Gosh, what was I saying? I'm making this. I brought you here today because, so while I'm making the sculpture, which I'm enjoying, and yesterday I went to a Palestine rally and I ended up making an amusing video, oddly enough, out of that situation, which, what can I tell you? I'm a fucking genius. Just taking tragedy and turning it into good times for everyone. Anyway, during the week, I realized something, and that is that I've struggled all my life to achieve the things that I want to achieve. And in this year of 2026, I've had to give up on the idea of being a successful stand-up comedian because I realized I'm in the wrong country. Australia is just not big enough for me. And the other places that I could do the stand-up comedy are the UK, which includes England, which I fucking despise. What a depressing place. And the United States, which I will never go to again for many, many reasons that are real, that are not made up at all. You've probably heard of a lot of the reasons. A lot of the reasons perhaps apply to you too. So I realised something, and it's that I've had to realise that stand-up comedy is not going to work for me. So I'll do my fringe shows, but I won't be on the stand-up comedy circuit. And I realised something. Actually, I can make this kind of decision. I can walk away from the dream of being the very funny stand-up comedian who is successful and paid well for it. I can walk away from it because I don't want success or fame. Particularly fame, I really don't want. No, what I want is to be extremely fucking cool, which is why I'm doing this. Fuck, this is cool. Just a guy who finds branches, right, and with his bare hands turns those branches into works of art. And he shoots videos of the process, and then he commentates. He does his own reaction videos to his own footage of his own art. Because if I don't do it, no one fucking will. And I've got to tell you, folks, that's the other lesson. A big part of being a cool person, if you're cool, big part of that is you have to do everything yourself. I know a lot of you already know this, but you have to do every single fucking thing yourself for the simple reason that no one understands what you want, because your hopes and dreams are so fucking cool that normal people and even talented, smart, cool people often don't know what the fuck you're talking about when you say, I want to make a branch basket tied together with stainless steel wire, and the way it'll work is, I won't go into it. Well, and the reason I won't go into it is actually I don't put any of this shit into words. It just happens. I do it and it happens. I can't tell you, I can't explain to you what I'm doing here, really, other than I'm holding a heat gun. I've used wire. Here, I can't tell you what happens otherwise, though. There's no wordness to any of this. What's happened really is I've had a very odd day, as I said at the start, right? I've had a very odd day. I don't know why. Eventually I went, okay, it's been weird. I'm going to go to the gym, and I'll chase the weirdness away with some gym time. And I was about to go to the gym, and I realized that deep down inside myself, I really didn't want to go to the motherfucking gym. I wanted to sit here instead and not go to the gym. And I sat and I waited and I was patient. I thought something has to change. Something has to give today for today to be complete. And then my wife said to me, I have to go to the shop to get things from and I have to get some stuff. And the things that I can get you while I'm out there. And I said, yes. And then she left and I went, oh, you know what I can do? I can make a video where I get all my feelings out. I like this, right? Because it's fire. I realised one of the things that's happening here is I found an excuse to use fire as part of my art practice, and that fills me with joy. Look at that. Fire. So this is going well anyway. I did some gardening today. I made a post about the cop killer who was killed by the cops. That went all right. One of the people who liked the post is actually from the town that Desi Freeman was killed those cops. Paul Punker, he's from that town. David Quirk is from that town. And he's doing a show called Paul Punker. So which is all uncanny. It's part of the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Now, I won't be going to the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. I don't think I will, even to see David Quirk. And I've seen several of his shows. I love his work. But it's just, I don't want to go into town and see fucking comedians. I'm sick of looking at the cunts. You know, self-absorbed showbiz people. Fuck off. Quirky's not like that, of course. All the people that I like are cool, but they're cool and that's why I like them. But they're not everybody. Quirky isn't everybody, but he is for you. You should go see his show. It's called Paul Punker. And it's going to have an extra little bit of chemistry, a bit of zing about it because of this big news story. But I would also just go and see the show because it's David Quirk and you'll have a good time. I'd also go and see Greg Larson. He's fucking unreal. There's other people who I like, but I can't guarantee you that they're going to do a good show. I don't know if they're going to have their act together, so I can't. And then there's other people who I would just not recommend because they've fucking... yeah, I mean, this is a big part of the reason why it's so easy for me to go, oh, I don't want to do stand-up comedy anymore. It's because I don't like stand-up comedy. It's actually fucking boring. Have you seen it? Yeah, so I'm going to make sculpture. I'm going to live my life. Later this year for Melbourne Fringe, I'll do my show. It's going to be called The Hidden Dangers of Being Unreal. And my life is fucking awesome. My life is awesome. No, it is. Soon I'm going to see drone footage shot from the point of view of a suicide drone arriving to blow up a bunch of US Marines. And I'm going to watch that and it's going to fucking be unreal. Because I'm a human being and I have feelings. Can you imagine how peaceful this process is for me? Just directing hot air at wooden branches. So I think what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to scorch the whole thing pretty much black. And then I'm going to introduce stainless steel wire basketry into the piece. And some rich cunt is going to offer me a massive amount of money for it. And I'm going to say, it's not for sale, I'm an artist. And then my wife will tap me on the shoulder and I'll turn around and she will uppercut me in the solar plexus and I will double over. And she'll say, yeah, no, Sean, it's for sale, cunt. We can't all be artists floating around in our little world of dreams. Not even you fucking autistic cunt that I fucking look after. I looked after you when you had fucking cancer. How about you sell some sculpture, you fucking dog? I don't know why in this story my wife is talking with my voice and using my rude words because actually she's a lady.